There's some bullshit products and there's some stuff that is not worth your dime on the market right now for archery equipment. This is not one of those pieces. This is one of those things that absolutely is worth every cent. It is the Bowmar nose button. So I've kind of wanted to add this for my bow for a little while now. When I first got into archery, I started to run a kisser button, and I just found trying to get that into the corner of my mouth, I was just doing a lot of fidgeting and just, it never felt right. So for the longest time, I haven't run anything. And then this came to the market a few years ago, and I think the concept of it is a pretty good one, so I'm gonna give it a try. The packaging comes with 2 different size nose buttons and some serving string to tie it in. I mean, it doesn't really give you a recommendation of which one to use, so I am going to use the smaller one. Everything you need for the install on this comes with it. It comes with the serving material, and it comes with your choice of nose button. There's a smaller one and a bigger one, and I'm not really too concerned about adding this weight onto the string because it feels super light to begin with. So the initial setup for this on the string is pretty simple. If you look, there's a groove right there in the middle of the nose button, and that's supposed to make it easy just to snap onto the string, which it does. And there's enough tension on here that when you're pushing it, it'll hold it in place while you're trying to get it set up. I'm just gonna set it in kind of in between my D-loop and my peep, and that'll give me just a really rough reference of where this needs to be to start. When you are setting this up, that you actually move your sight. So if your maximum distance is 100 yards, they say to move your sight to, I believe it's 50. If your maximum distance is 80 yards, move your sight to 40. Pretty much just have whatever your maximum distance is. And I'm just gonna draw it back, come to anchor, see where this lines up, and try to get this nose button in a comfortable position. I like the way that feels, so let's go over to the bow press, tie this thing in. So the constrictor knot is the knot that they recommend that you tie to tie in your nose buttons. That's what I'm going to do. To tie a constrictor knot, you want to come over the top of the string, loop it underneath and over, and crisscross over your tail end. All right, so you want to come over the top 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And after the 3rd time, there's actually a groove inside of the nose button that you want to stick your string back through, pull it out the other side, then you grab your 2 ends and you cinch them down. Side. Bowmar nose button, shot number 1. Okay, it is definitely a different feel. I feel like I'm maybe back a little further from the string, but maybe that's a good thing because I feel like sometimes I'm bared down too much into it. Well, those 2 arrows are touching, so that's got to be good. This is 50 yards right where I'm at now. It's a pretty good group so far. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It definitely, it's a different feel. It is really preventing me from getting too far into the string, which I think is a really good thing. So I'm gonna go back to 100, see what that feels like. But at 50, feels good. I don't feel like I'm too far into the string, but it definitely gives me a good reference point. So those first few I shot with the thumb button, the Onyx thumb. I'm gonna try this hinge release. This is the Hinge 2 by UltraView. Good. I don't know if you guys saw that, but initially when I got into the string, my face was turned too far to the right. So the string was actually, the nose button first contacted with the left side of my nose, which in the past, I don't know if I would have corrected that. I might have just shot like that. All right, so we step back here at 100 yards. This is where I start to have problems of coming to anchor and getting my face too far out of the string because the housing's so much lower in the scope, and you just kind of, for me, I just get away from the string. I'm hoping that with this nose button, I can stay better in the string and a more consistent anchor point between 50 and 100. That's my main goal for having this, was these long range shots getting in the right position and my anchor. You have to spend the money on this. This nose button, this is awesome. I feel like I'm way more, like, I get back into full draw, I get my hand up against my face, I'd kind of just reach my nose to get to the button. Once I get my nose on the button and I start to look through the peep, I'm 100% guilty of this, of drawing back and just immediately going for the peep and just trying to figure out where my head needs to be to get into the peep, instead of coming to full draw, getting into a really good anchor position, and then finding my peep and acquiring my target. I'm just as guilty of rushing that whole process, and this right here is preventing me from doing that. It's really making it where I have to draw back, find my anchor, come into the string, get my nose just barely on the button, and the peep is already lined up for me. There's some bullshit products, and there's some stuff that is not worth your dime on the market right now for archery equipment. This is not one of those pieces. This is one of those things that absolutely is worth every cent. All right, guys, I've been shooting this nose button for about a week now, and honestly, I'm 100% sold on it. I think regardless of what you think about the Bowmars and kind of the stuff they've been going through recently, the nose button, along with the grip tape, or not the grip tape, but whatever, riser tape, I don't know what, grip tape, whatever they're calling this. For 16 bucks or whatever this costs, it is 100% worth it. If you're already running a kisser button, I think this is a better option. I put this thing on and I felt way better and way more comfortable in my shot process. So I thought this was absolutely worth it. I would recommend this to anybody. If you guys are already running one of these nose buttons, hit that like button down below. I highly recommend this for anyone that wants to run it. Go ahead, do it. Until next time, guys, I'm Jeff Cordero, and we'll check you out on the next video.